Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. I'm the Bangkok Lion, aka Coach JR. Founder and head trainer here at Shadowboxing Academy. I'm a 14-year professional boxing coach. I train professional fighters, amateurs, celebrities, fitness enthusiasts, and now you. Today I'm going to talk about how to get more powerful and explosive legs just by shadowboxing. Now we know that leg strength and power is very, very important for boxing. It makes you have more power, it makes you able to shift directions faster, and it's able to hold you if ever you get rocked. So having strong legs is very, very important for your game, right? Now I know there's a lot of different ways you can do it with equipment, but today I'm going to show you different ways on how to do it without equipment and also while you're shadowboxing. But before I do all that, I simply want you to click the subscribe button and also click on that notification bell so that every time I post something new, you won't miss it. Also, I'm really trying to get my channel up. So if you don't mind, please share this video to your friends. Tell them to subscribe because I got some pretty good content so we can keep this ball rolling, all right? So if you're ready, let me show you the ways you can get explosive legs and stronger legs just by shadowboxing. All right, so tip number one. Add a lot of ducks into your shadowboxing. This will load up your legs and also design to emulate ducking when you're fighting, right? When you're sparring. So while you're shadowboxing, focus on ducking, moving around, a lot of ducks, a lot of weaving. Pretty much your squat, but in boxing style, right? So a lot of these, move around. Load up those legs. Make sure that you feel your weight is always in the middle. Don't tilt back, don't tilt forward too much. So get your punches in. At the end of the day, if you're focusing on what I'm trying to tell you to focus on, which is your leg strength and leg power, you want to really load it up as much as possible. So that's my tip number one. All right, tip number two. You can try to stand on your toes for the most part of your shadowboxing. This will really burn out your calf muscles and also develop them to be much more explosive and stronger. So if you're doing 3 minutes, if you're doing a 3-minute round, maybe you can do a 2-minute straight, or for the majority of the time to shadowbox always on your toes. Normally we would only put the back foot, the back heel up, but for this particular drill, because we're focusing on leg power, we want to have both heels up most of the time, right? Don't drop them at all, okay? Move around, same thing, shadow box, but make sure you're not dropping your heels as much. If you can do it the whole round, even better. If you're feeling quite tired, rest them off for a little bit, a couple of seconds, and then go back to it right away, okay? So move around, make sure you're loading them, and you'll feel that burn right in your calf muscles. Tip number three, quick change of direction. So let's start with forward, back, left and right movement first, right? So here's what I'm saying. So you're right here, you know, you're shadowboxing, all of a sudden, you move forward fast. That will really call for all the muscles to work together and push off the ground to explode forward, back, left or right. So here I'm doing shadowboxing, all of a sudden I move back as fast as I can, right? Same thing with the lateral movements. I go to the side, I go to the side. So I keep doing that, nice and relaxed, then boom. All right, so that's one more way you can get explosive legs by shadowboxing. Quick movement forward, quick movement backward. All your muscles are working tight. All your muscles are really driving you into the direction that you want to go to. But make sure you're not tipping forward, back, or left or right when you do this. Make sure that when you go, sudden stop, weight is still in the middle. All right, next tip, the rhythmic bounce. So basically, instead of being flat-footed like this, even though both of your heels are up, what you're doing is you're consistently bouncing around, moving. Now remember, rhythmic bounce or bouncing around isn't always necessary when you spar or when you fight, right? You could get caught like while you're in mid-air. This is usually used when you're trying to shake it off, when your feet are starting to feel draggy. But just to make sure that your legs are strong, and you're always functioning, even on the 12th round. Okay, so start doing your rhythmic bounces, obviously on your toes only, not dropping your heels. Go into that shadow boxing mode. Keep going, attack, move back, defend with it, So keep the balance consistent as much as possible. All right, that's tip number 3. Tip number 4, learn to switch stances. Now, I'm not necessarily advising you to switch stances when you fight. This is only in training, because there could be an instance where you get pushed back and you find yourself on a different stance, or you're in opposite stance and you don't know what to do. So make sure that sometimes you rewire your brain so that your muscles function accordingly when you switch stances. If you want to switch stances on fighting, or if you all of a sudden lose balance and your front foot goes to the back, you'll know what to do. So this is how it looks like. So you're shadow boxing, right? Don't step forward like this. I don't recommend that. So for now, on retreat. So you have basically your back hand becomes your shield hand, right? So I'm orthodox, and then I'm doing my shadow boxing, and I switch to a southpaw. I come from the southpaw, do my shadow boxing, and then I go to my orthodox, right? This is more in terms of balance as well. So your body doesn't panic, or your brain doesn't panic, just in case you switch up accidentally, all right? All right, last tip, quick shift movement from one direction to the next. This is pretty much the same as the second tip, where you explode forward, back, left, or right, but then this time, instead of just moving one direction, you're gonna explode from one direction to the completely different direction. So if you're exploding forward, you're gonna wanna explode back right away too. So this teaches you to move out of the way right away. Say for example, you move forward, right? And you drop your attacks, and you see them attacking back, and you can move forward as quick as possible too, okay? So this is how it looks like. You perform your shadow boxing. Say for example, I want to go forward fast, boom, boom, I'm out right away. You don't need to throw punches. That's not the point. The point is just to make sure that when you bounce in, you can recover and get out right away. Same with your lateral movements, right? I go to my right, then I go to my left right away. Left, right. So quick as possible, and you'll feel your legs really tighten up and working all those muscles to shift from one side to the next. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I'm able to share to you some knowledge. Make sure you practice this, especially if you don't have any equipment at home. For you guys that's still stuck in quarantine, or your gyms in your country is not open yet, there's a really good way to develop those muscles for explosiveness and strength in boxing. Once again, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like my page. I appreciate y'all. This is the Bangkok Lion saying, fight on.